Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity Vlog by Visions2images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions2images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions2images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life. Your host for this vlog is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions2images. Hello, everybody. This podcast episode is going to be a little bit different than what you guys are used to. I'm going to be sharing some inside information and kind of giving you guys some free advice and tips on how I really scaled my business and changed in a year's time frame. Let me first kind of give you some background information. I got divorced officially a year ago. And when I got divorced, it was one of those times where you had to pull up your big girl panties, do your thing, and get hustling. I'm a single mom to an autistic child. And so what happened is I've always had my business going and I knew I had the potential. 2 years ago, I hired a sales coach, which she will be on the third episode. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made for my business to be able to grow and scale. So once this divorce happened, gears shifted. So let me give you guys the 3 topics that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I'm going to be giving you free advice for marketing, branding, and business tips. The 3 topics, number 1 is mindset and independence. Number 2 is branding and marketing, which you will not want to miss. And number 3 is sales, right? Figuring out those sales, how to sell thousands of dollars. It's my favorite topic right now, actually. But Renee and I are going to be doing the topic 3 on a different day. So today I want to focus on mindset and independence. Now, when you are a business owner, you are in charge of everything. So when I got divorced, I realized I was independent, right? I realized I had to make all of the decisions. I had to do everything. I had to learn. I had to make mistakes. I had to do so much stuff because it's only me at the end of the day. Mindset is a huge shift for any business owner. And my sales coach helped me a lot with mindset, and we will dive into more of that. But your mindset has to be in the right space in order to grow and scale. There's no questions asked. Independence is totally 100% understanding you are in charge. You can make all the decisions. You can spend the money. You can save the money. You can outsource. You can do just about anything you want. And you can truly have that independence. Now, here is my first tip for mindset and independence. In 2020, I hired contractors. I always have had some contractors underneath me, but in 2020, I really scaled and really said, I need help in order to grow and scale. I hired a web developer who specializes in the custom websites. I hired an SEO specialist who really helps businesses get seen. I hired a copywriter, I hired a copy editor, and then I have my regular accountant and assistant. And then I also hired a web designer, which is a little bit different. And just recently, I hired a VA to do some of my internal marketing techniques. So there are the people. I realized I had to hire and ask for help in that sense. Otherwise, my business was going to fail. I can't do everything, and I'm the creative mind and the CEO of the business. So I can't be doing every little detail for all of my clients, but I can get the creative direction going and flowing and telling the team what to do to implement. So that was one of the biggest mindset, the biggest hurdles in the independence I needed to take in order for my business to scale. Number 2, with the mindset and independence, is I outsourced whenever possible. That kind of goes back to number 1, but in a personal level, I hired a guy who does my lawn. I hired a babysitter. I hired, who else have I hired? I mean, I've done HelloFresh. These are all life-saving techniques, right? Because we don't have time. We don't have all of the energy sometimes, and we need to be able to outsource and ask for help, period. I also have a handyman. I mean, I have an IT person that helps me now. So there's so many different little things that have helped me when I needed that help. I was able to outsource and ask for that help. I have a CPA, and every time I have to do my taxes each quarter, I'm like, hey, we have to make sure these all line up. Is this correct? Is this good? During the winter months, I have somebody coming and taking care of my driveway. These are all just simple little stupid things that save me sanity at the end of the day. And it can be business or it can be personal. Like I said, I have my CPA. I have my sales coach / business coach. She is amazing. And whenever I need a huge shift or a mindset change, I just message her and ask for that help and that assistance. So those are really important techniques that you need to have. Make a list of what is on your plate, make a list of what needs to be done, and outsource, right? Like making sure you can do that stuff. I always make sure that like I make a list if I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things, and I'm like, okay, what can I outsource? What can I hire out? So eventually I would love to hire somebody to clean or to do laundry or whatever. I don't know. But if that's a goal of mine, that's fine. I have to work for it and know that I can hire somebody to do it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do that because I'm very particular, but the thing is you can ask for help and you can hire anybody out to do anything. There's literally pet sitters. Whatever is going to save your sanity and grace, do it. Because you need that time for your parenting and for your business. So if you need that help, get it. I want to say real quick as well, before I jump into the number 3, every day I write down 5 things that I need to do for the business. I write down 5 things. That's it. 5 things. I'm like, this has to get done at the end of the day. This all has to get done. And I literally have to lock myself into those 5 things. Like, these are important things that need to be done. And what happens is I'm able to cross it off because I write it down. Don't type it out. You have to write it down. There's something about writing it that really works. And when you write it out, it's got to be those 5 important things. But then you start to think about other things that need to be done and just push those aside. Like, just push those aside. And I also try to write down at the beginning of every day, like, what needs to be done by X date. I kind of like every morning I just have a journal, and I know this is kind of a little bit of rambling, but bear with me because I literally write down every morning a bunch of stuff. I just take like 10-15 minutes and I write down all of the things that need to get done. It eases my mind. And then from there, I'm like, okay, what 5 things need to be done? And I really focus in on those 5 things for that day. And then I'm like, okay, well, if I get this done, if I get all these 5 things done, then I can get XYZ done. And even if it's cleaning the house, like, just put it on the list, but make sure that your list is really things that are urgent and need to get done that day so that you're not falling behind on business and personal life. The other thing I always do every morning is I write what I'm grateful for. I literally just write out 3 to 5 things every day what I'm grateful for. And a lot of times it's the same stuff, but it makes me ease my mind and get into the right mindset that, okay, I am thankful and I am blessed and I have an amazing life. So it really helps you get in that right mindset. Over the past year, number 3 for the mindset and independence is I've helped businesses get visible and seen. Now that is a little bit about branding and marketing that we will get into later. But the truth of the matter is I found my sweet spot. I grew my agency to be able to have several services and really get the results that clients need and ask for. I've been able to ask the right questions. I've been able to understand that you have to build connections. You have to build relationships in order for any business to scale and grow. You can't just have somebody and expect them to really buy from you without building that connection. So many people buy from my agency because they love my story. They love everything that goes into it. They love that I'm authentic, I'm real, and they love how it's all put together. So when you realize your sweet spot and you realize your story, that's when your business really grows and evolves. And a lot of times that story for me is I'm a single mom, I'm divorced. People like hearing those things because so many can relate, right? Like I have so many single mom friends. I have so many people who are divorced and then remarried. Like people love hearing these stories so that they know that they're not alone and that we have that connection and that relationship built. And especially when it's at a business level, right? Like when business happens, people are like, oh my gosh, I got divorced. I'm a single mom. I have an autistic kid. And that's how businesses really grow and scale because there's that personal connection there. If there's not a personal connection there, a lot of times they're just like, you're just an average Joe. And I'm going to go talk to somebody else about your marketing and branding service needs. And that's great. Maybe I'm not the one for them, but regardless, you build that connection. And then number 4 for this episode is show up. So how do you show up? I ask my clients all the time how they show up or what they're doing for their marketing, in other words, too. I'm a connection builder. I'm a network builder. I used to be an extrovert and I used to be an introvert and now I'm an extrovert. Sorry, I had the 2 switch. I used to not really want to talk to people. I used to just live in my little world. And over the past year, I've really blossomed and I grew to really like people even more. And that's just because of the sales coach and the sales training that goes into it, whether it's online or in person or whatever. I still build those connections and I show up. So many times I have clients telling me, oh my gosh, Susie, I see you everywhere. I see you on LinkedIn. I see you on Instagram. You're killing it. You're telling a story. You're really sharing your thoughts and your feelings and you're showing up. Yes, exactly. But beyond those social platforms, beyond the digital marketing, beyond all the little things, we really have to show up and stand out. I've just started sending out packages, like gift packages to my clients to show my appreciation for them. That's showing up and being unique in a sense, and you really understand and let them know that you care about them. The other way that I show up is I message people, especially during this pandemic. I've really reached out to people in a variety of ways, whether that is through phone, text, messages, whatever. I've really reached out just to either check in, see how they're doing, see if I can help them, whether they need a plumber. Maybe they need a plumber. Yeah, I can get you a plumber. Here's some recommendations. Maybe they just need someone to listen to them. Maybe they need someone to buy takeout for them. Whatever that you connect with them, you understand that they need something. You understand that you're all going through whatever together, right? So many times people don't want to admit that they're struggling, that they're having these feelings, that there's so much going on, and then they don't want to share that. But if you really connect and you open up with these people, your relationship will build so much longer. During the pandemic, like I said, I outreached to people just checking in on how they were doing. I offered free training, free support, free happy hour, free virtual coffee chats. I've offered so much stuff that has evolved my clients to change and come to me for their needs when the time was right. So that's how I show up and what has made a big difference for my agency to really scale and grow over the past year. So this episode was about mindset and independence. The second episode is going to be about branding and marketing, and I cannot wait for that one. And then number 3 will be about the sales growth, and I cannot wait for that one with my sales coach, Renee Rebar. So make sure you sign up for notifications because these are amazing tips for any business owner to really implement. And it takes time for all of these things to grow and scale. But if you take every little thing and just do it a little bit by little bit, day by day, hour by hour, just break it up, time management, your business can scale regardless if it's an agency or just a regular e-commerce website. Like all of these little details exactly matter. So I hope that you were able to take some great stuff from this episode. And if you have comments, you can always feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for listening to this special episode.